lórí orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá gbogbogbò. Ẹ bá wa dá sí. Ẹ̀yin ará mi, ẹ súnmọ́ bí ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ pín. Ẹ bá wa dá sí. Yorùbá TV 247. Ẹ bá wa pín.
And please talk to people. I mean, you are the convener of this protest. Please, can you give them a brief on how you are seeing things going, please?
Well, let me thank everybody who came out yesterday across the world. We're not just trying to make a small statement. We want to have the kind of free.
Yes.
And we must be free.
It's non-negotiable.
It's non-negotiable. What I want to say is like saying that Yoruba man is fighting for Igbo man.
Under divide us.
Yes. They have discovered that this one has come to unite us.
Exactly.
The oppressed.
Exactly.
And that is why they are very worried. And I know they continue to be worried. Because the voice is loud now.
Exactly.
And we are unstoppable.
Exactly.
And we will ensure that NMO AKIKANJU is free. Yes. There's nothing they didn't do to us yesterday, including opening fire on us. So I'm not surprised that today or yesterday they targeted his lawyers. They even said it. The presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga said it, that the lawyer had no business protesting.
Imagine.
They were about to release them yesterday on bail because they committed no crime anyways. And then suddenly change their mind and even attacked us in front of the FCT command. What they are trying to do is that they know they don't have a case. And the lawyer, the lead lawyer, who has been challenging them, they want to put him away. At the time that they said his clients should open his defense. You are the one who said go and open his defense. Yes. The lawyer is preparing, but now you are taking the lawyer away so that he cannot prepare for him to open his defense. What we're trying to say is that we got here this morning, and lo and behold, the police has rushed here without letting his lawyers be aware of their client's whereabouts. And the judge, upon discovering that there was no lawyer around, has sent them to the people. That was the goal of the illegal IG, to send this guy away. That's the goal of Tinubu, to make sure that there are no lawyers to defend him when he returns to court, to open his defense. That is it. That is the tactic you are seeing now. And you see that they're also sponsoring propaganda that it was Sowore that got them arrested. Yeah. It is part of the propaganda so that they will use that to divide us. Yes. And we are used to that. I am here to get NMO AKIKANJU released.
Yes.
And nobody who is being held, including Igbos that were tagged IPOB members, who are all languishing in several detentions, in Wanwa Barrack, in Tiger Base, we will get everybody out.
Yes.
It's either we are free in this country or we ensure that we fight for our independence again.
Exactly. Yes.
That is
freedom or nothing.
That is why I have no apologies. When you hear me say that Nigeria needs a revolution, this is what I mean. Yes, we need a revolution. Without a revolution, everybody will take you for a granted. Even a chicken can take you for a granted. Bees, flies, we take you for granted. Rats, we take you for granted. But in this case, we are prepared for whatever it will take. That's why they never thought I could come out yesterday. And they said, oh, after the tear gas was, they thought it was over. Yes. We protested in this Abuja, 6 places. Yes. We were imagined in different parts of the city. And with their help, they were able to help us shut down the city. Exactly. Even the judge who gave an order that we cannot go to Aso Road could not resume to work yesterday. We hear his own case. So, but just be prepared. Those of you who were afraid this last time or who were convinced not to come out, know that nothing can happen to you if we all unite en masse. Exactly. If the mass decide today that we want NMO AKIKANJU release, they will release him.
When people say yes, nobody can say no. Revolution!
The free NMO AKIKANJU protest and the agitation for the federal government to release NMO AKIKANJU, how do you view it?
It is a legitimate demand. And I support the protest. Way many Nigerians are in support of the protest. And my position on this has been clear even from when President Buhari forcefully took him away from Kenya. As far as I'm concerned, Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything that will warrant his detention for 5 years. Nnamdi Kanu, there is no evidence to show that he killed anybody. There's no evidence to show that he carried arms.
That's for the court to determine.
And that is in trial. But if the courts are keeping somebody for 5 years and they have not been able to try him,
is that illegitimate?
Of course, the court. You can see. Hasn't the court decided on this matter when it came to the issue of his bail before the Court of Appeal? He was discharged and acquitted. So as far as I'm concerned, you started with the court. Sheung, I, like most Nigerians, are not persuaded in any manner with what is going in the courts. And I will not also be persuaded, whatever judgment, either way or the other, that comes out from the courts. Because there is a deliberate attempt. I said so when President Buhari was in office. There are people who have committed heinous crimes in this country. They have murdered people, they have kidnapped people, they have raped women, they have killed children, they have done all sorts of things. There are people aiding and abetting them. There are people who have gone to their domain, talking with them. We are aware of helicopters dropping food, dropping ammunition in the bush, which of course our security had the capacity to trap. Sheung, Nnamdi Kanu did not do any of those. But he's in detention. What was the cause? And I told President Buhari, it was because of the ancient hatred you have against the Igbos. I told President Buhari when he was in office, my position has not changed. But why I'm worried, you're looking at me. I told him you had ancient hatred against the Igbos. That was why you kept Nnamdi Kanu there. If he was from another tribe, Nnamdi Kanu would not be there.
Are you dispassionate about this? Or you are speaking because you are of the same extraction?
Good.
Because there are those who oppose, who don't have the same view as you have it tonight about the situation. There are those who ask questions about those who have taken opportunists on the situation in the South is based on the order, the radio broadcasts, the publications, and the statements that are being made online. You know what has happened with the man in Finland that has been being prosecuted. As soon as that man was being prosecuted, the sit-at-home order and some of the mayhem being unleashed by opportunists of the agitation of Biafra stopped. Southeast started experiencing under this government some level of peace.
Sheung, what I'm saying, I said it to a sitting president. Whether people agree or not, you know those that loves you. You know those who hate you. It's not because I'm Igbo. I would have taken the same position if a Yoruba man or Fulani man was involved. My patriotism has no limitations.
What do you think that government of the day... apology. What do you think the government of the day who felt that a region consisting of 5 states is under consistent attack and is in distress and is insecure based on the action and the statement of one person? What do you think they could have done differently?
Is it the matter? President Tinubu did not cause this problem. He inherited it. President Tinubu had no hand in the detention of Nnamdi Kanu. But what is curious is why he has not taken steps to get him out. He has no hand. He didn't take him there.
As a lawyer, you think how easy would that be to establish a non-prosecute on a matter of national security?
What is the national security? These are things that people manufacture to justify their positions.
Nnamdi Kanu is facing one of the highest criminal offenses.
And that is what?
Terrorism. Charges against him.
Can you define terrorism?
No, that's what for the courts to tell.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And all the others, all those people that did all the things I aforementioned, none was charged of terrorism. I have explained to you, Nnamdi Kanu has the right to demand peacefully for anything for his people. I am not saying because I'm from there. And that was why I have said it before you. President Tinubu, get him out of this. He has no hand in it. But he's in a position to rectify it. He knew the truth. Why has he not done so? You see, people are talking about some interest group. People are saying, don't release him. It will disbalance this, disbalance that. The truth is that Nnamdi Kanu, as we said that time to President Buhari, go and discuss with Nnamdi Kanu. You don't have to look for him in this manner. This is somebody, look at what is happening today. He did not talk to anybody. If he was outside, they say he has sponsored everybody. Okay. Sowore that is taking this thing on his own now, based on his struggles. He's not an Igbo. You were not able to tell Sowore this because he's not Igbo. If it was that one year, you say, hey, he has come. So we should forget about all these mundane issues and considerations. What is bad is bad. What is not good must be condemned no matter who is involved. President Tinubu, yes, we agree there are some people in the Southeast who do not want Nnamdi Kanu out.
Really? There are people like that?
I can say it authoritatively.
Who are those?
There are some top businessmen who are involved in businesses in Abuja, oil and all that. There are some top politicians who are of the view, and which is correct, that if Nnamdi Kanu comes today, there are people whose political career will come to an end permanently without him saying a word. Nnamdi Kanu has been loved by the people. It's like when they were chasing Fubara. You heard me say so here. I told President Tinubu, if the issue about 2027, the person to do business with is Fubara. Are you seeing what is happening there now? They have loved him, they have loved him. Organic support. Nnamdi Kanu need not talk to anybody. That was why I'm sure that is the pressure that the president is having. But the president is number one. He is the president of Nigeria. And he's the only person that can say, stop, it will stop. You don't have to take everything that everybody puts to you, Okola and Sinka. When the issue started with this insecurity in the southeast, they raided the prison. We came out to say, no, this was not our deeds. Those people were imported. Security came back to realize it. But what happened next? Because they have been exposed, they decided to recruit urchins, non-educated people, people that are not skilled. Locals started training them.
Are you an IPOB apologist?
No. Look.
Are you a believer?
No. I don't expect you to come to that because you know that I believe in Nigeria.
But I'm asking you might have your. You might have
no.
You might have an apology for the struggle of Biafra and what IPOB stands for.
I am an open book. You'll always know where I am.
You know the history of IPOB.
I believe.
You know the history of IPOB.
What is
there are those who say legitimately it started off as a peaceful intentions were right about the agitation of the Igbo.
What brought about IPOB?
But what happened?
No, what brought about IPOB? You have a region that has been marginalized. They've been crying for marginalization. It wasn't during the time of President Buhari. President Tinubu has tried to do one or two things, put some infrastructure, move some money there. You say you don't want them. You say you don't like me. You say you don't want me. Okay, allow me to go home. You say I will not go. One must give way. It's either you bring me at the center or you let me go. We should stop pretending in this country. That is what we are talking about. The people are saying they are marginalized.
What is marginalization? Can you mention one thing that...
Let's look at the dictionary.
No.
Say what you know.
In practical terms.
I'm coming. Yeah. There are no federal presence in the southeast. The little we're having now is other thing. Cease. No good roads, no infrastructure. You borrowed money. President Buhari borrowed money to build rails up to Mali, another country, not across the southeast. But we are paying the loan back. We are part and parcel of repaying the loan. And you say it is justice. They have the right to protest. You can't beat and flog a child. You still stop the child from crying.
What would have been
the child must cry.
What would have been the best way to handle that situation?
The best way is for President Tinubu to sit down, look at the whole thing, find a way to balance these things, bring in Nnamdi Kanu out, go and do business with Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody else can do that, apart from the president.
What do you know about artificial intelligence? No, I'm not talking about ChatGPT. I'm Professor David Costa, the Dean.
Apart from the president. If you subdue this one, expect it again and again and again. You cannot run away from it. Nnamdi Kanu committed no crime. Nnamdi Kanu did nothing. He did not kill anybody. He did not move arms.
It's not for you to decide. The matter is in court.
The truth is naked. I don't need to. The truth is naked.
It is not for you. As a lawyer, you are a servant before the temple of justice. And you know what it means when a matter is before the court. You cannot say Nnamdi Kanu did nothing when the court is still assessing and trying the matter. No, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong on that note. You are wrong, sir. No, sir. You are wrong on the note to say. It's a matter of law.
It will get to this.
It's subjudice for you to say. Yes, sir.
When people will stop listening to what you're talking about. Let me tell you an experience I had in 1992. I was in NIPS. Part of the programs in NIPS is you have local tours, African tours, and outside tours. My group went to Kano, Imo, then Cameroon, then Brazil. Was it Brazil? Brazil, yes. When we got to Cameroon, the chief of army staff, General Kumangu, was given instruction by this Fobia on certain things. Commander-in-Chief, he said, Mr. President, this order is illegal. I will not obey it. In Cameroon, and I'm ready to take the consequences. That thing was boiling before we left for foreign tours. It will get to a point in this country, unless we redress judiciary, we redress what we are doing to Nigerian people will start taking the laws into their hands.
Just for a moment, sir. The reason why I said you're wrong, sir, and you are a very senior lawyer, you know that when a matter is yet to be decided before the court, you do not take it out of the mouth of justice. Allow the court to have decided the matter. That's why I said this is not a court of law.
The court has decided the issue of Nnamdi Kanu.
Just a moment.
The court has decided.
The court has not freed Nnamdi Kanu.
The court has freed Nnamdi Kanu. Court of Appeal.
Just a moment, sir. The court has not decided on the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. It's still in process. The man is still under detention, and the matter is before the court. And I'm saying, as a lawyer, you know that it is not right. It's sub judice for you to now determine for the court on television what the court is still trying at the moment.
Let me tell you. You can do what you like. You can say what you like. I have the right to say I don't believe in what you are doing. It is my inalienable right. You can even sentence me. It is my right. When I sue that everything has been compromised in this country, when nobody can get justice, is it in election matters? And that's why there's no developments. People are no longer having confidence in what should have given them the hope that tomorrow will be better. Nnamdi Kanu's case is a case that President Tinubu must address. All these things that are happening today, they're not necessary.
How do you think he will address it? Is it a political or judicial manner in which he will address it? How?
You see, even from the time President Buhari was here, leaders of thought in Igbo land met him. He dismissed it, that it is in court. Governors, 5 governors, led by Hope Uzodimma, whom they are accusing now, erroneously. They don't know the job these people are making to get this man out. But you see people write nonsense in the media.
So Hope Uzodimma is at the forefront of fighting for Nnamdi Kanu.
Hope Uzodimma, Oti, these are the 2 people I know very well.
Abaribe?
No, I'm not talking of governors.
Okay.
So, but there are people, just like the job Hope is doing in you, people will come and write nonsense. Imo now is Dubai. The people will go to internet, those who have not come home for more than 5 years, they will read down their rights. They don't know the effort these people are making. They say they have told people not to release them. They told me not to. Where are your facts? My intel has told me about the governors, and I have told about politicians and businessmen who are afraid of Nnamdi Kanu's release. Let the president. I told you, Shehu, in this station, if we have decided not to release Nnamdi Kanu, bring his body to Ego Square. Let us use him for barbecue. Let his enemies come and chop from the meat, so that we can close this matter permanently.
If you were President Tinubu and you decide to release Nnamdi, how would you go about it?
I will call the Igbo leaders, call the governors, take Nnamdi Kanu, file a knowledge political, hand Nnamdi Kanu to them. Let him do another nonsense when he comes out. I'll call the leaders in Igbo land, call all of them. Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything to deserve all this.
Can the leaders in Igbo land actually curtail any excesses that come from the actions of Nnamdi Kanu? Can they control him?
Did Nnamdi Kanu fall from the sky? Did he fall from the sky?
Does he have people that he listens to?
Even a madman. You can see violent madmen and women. You know they fall in love. You see madmen, you don't hear them. But when they are falling in love, when they see that they are loved, they will change. They become ice water. They didn't fall from the sky. So every madman has somebody that will talk to him and he will listen.
There are people in Nnamdi Kanu listens to.
Call leaders. File a knowledge. Call leaders in Igbo land. Call the leaders of thoughts. Bring them to the villa. Take their son. We are giving him to you. Release him. All these things happening. If not for the good governors we have in the southeast, nothing will work there. We have the best governors in the region now. I am saying it without hesitation. They are working from Hope to OT to Mba and all that. If not, they have frustrated the economy of the place. In a year, we lost almost 7 trillion naira. But they are doing their best to put infrastructure, to empower people, and to do those things, health, education. We are people that work hard. People should stop hating us. The Igbo man is the easiest person to deal with if you have his code.
And what is the code of the Igbo man?
It's not for the public. You have to go ahead.
It's interesting, and if you look at the conversation I had with Governor Soludo yesterday, and he said something that the Igbo man needs to be more accommodating, that if you're an itinerant person, you cannot be seen in a certain light. But
he was saying they are not accommodating?
No. Okay. He was talking about how to resolving this matter, and he said his mind. But in a national security prism, how do you explain it to those who are, because you know, justice, they say, justice is not only to be served on the victim, justice to the public, justice to the person who's been prosecuted. So in that sense, there are those who have been on the receiving side of the actions. And if you look at Simon Ekpa, just a moment, sir, let me land on the thought. There are people who have been named and killed.
By in the name?
No. So that's the question I'm asking.
That is the trajectory
There are those who ask questions that the intent may be good, but there are opportunists who have taken advantage of it. Take, for example, someone who went to Owerri to visit a former political advisor to Ahmed Gulak, and was named on his way to the airport. And you look at someone like Simon Ekpa, and those who say in the manner in which he was prosecuted in Finland has brought some peace in the Southeast region. So from the political point of view, there is what you said, but the security point of view, how do you deal with it?
Nnamdi Kanu has spoken about Simon Ekpa. Most of the things he did was not on his instructions. He didn't hide it even in court. You see, when you have situations like this, you have different groups, imagine, for their own interests. I had not heard, and I did not hear from any Igbo man of substance that supported Simon Ekpa. Nnamdi Kanu has said in court, open court, get me out of here. All this nonsense is going on in Igbo land in the southeastern state will stop. He didn't press anybody. He's not somebody that will chicken out or be lenient with his presentations. He's threat. When he wants to shoot, he will shoot.
He says that this is an animal kingdom. This is not a nation.
No. It's part of
some of the things that he has said.
There are many people that I don't want to start calling names. There are people in this country who say they don't believe in Nigeria. Most of them have found themselves in cabinet. There are many people who have said all sorts of things against Nigeria. It's those of us who believe in this country till tomorrow. Even when IPOP was hot, I was on television, I said that I am for Nigeria.
The question
is Nigeria that be fair to all.
So let me ask you, will Igbo presidency and Igbo president be a solution to this agitation?
That is not what I said. Let me tell you. But for how the whole thing turned around during President Buhari, I am telling you now, and don't misjudge me to say that I say we don't need presidency. The Igbo man, once you are fair to him, what you are giving, according to one of the governors, that is, you give these people, you give to other people. Once you are keeping to it, Igbo man is not interested who is at the top there. But it has come to the point that they say, hey, everybody, they've gotten this. We are 3 ports at independence. Some have gone twice, gone thrice. We have not gotten it.
Do you think that we need a national reconciliation conference where the issues of Igbo land and the civil war and the aftermath needs to be addressed frontally? Do you think that politically this president can achieve that by healing the wound?
I was a member of the National Conference 2014. If President Buhari had taken the report of that conference, 620 recommendations, unanimously passed, we won't be where we are today. President Tinubu would have been concentrating on advancing on that. But President Tinubu came back. He started from where Jonathan stopped to clean all the rubbish that was left behind, including the bastardization of the economy.
Well, I think the first thing is that we need to learn to pay attention to what the Nigerian state does more than the things that it says. Number one, 5 years ago to the day yesterday, unknown number of Nigerians were murdered by men purportedly members of their own armed forces. It is a sad commentary on the country we have built up till today. We can't even agree on the facts because the truth is staring us in the face, but men are still arguing against the grain of the truth. Second thing is that when you pay attention, you see very quickly that after 25 years, going on 26 years, only 26 years now of our democracy, the Nigerian victim, who we euphemistically refer to as citizens, do not even have the right to express their pains. I'm not even talking about their rights, their pains. Yemi Adamoleku was assaulted at the Lekki toll gate exactly 5 years after the state killed men and women there. Those who were protesting for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were serially assaulted and tear-gassed in full glare of everybody just yesterday. Meanwhile, in this same blessed country of ours, terrorists, euphemistically referred to as bandits, are riding and trooping colors in full glare of TV cameras, granting interviews and laying down conditions for peace to a state that is complicit in the mess that has overtaken it. But those who are asking that the person who was abducted from another country, been granted bail by the court, they're saying, look, free this man. Even the politics of it should have informed the rulers of Nigeria that it's not good for optics, that you have real terrorists who have borne arms, killed multiple numbers of persons, completely unrepentant, who are busy walking around free. But a man who has carried the genuine grievance of his people, you may not like his methods. That's a different ballgame entirely. But how do you complain about his methods when you are mollycoddling even worse? And you can't even find the grace or the sense, common sense, to bring peace in the country and find a way to free the man. So I am all for the right of citizens to protest, but unfortunately the Nigerian is my citizen. And the Nigerian state advertises it and reinforces that message every day.
So what do you make of the other line of the argument, just to have a well-rounded conversation that says, well, the court has adjourned till October the 23rd, has asked the defendant, in this case, Mr. NMO AKIKANJU and his lawyers, to defend themselves, and they have until, I think, the 30th, thereabouts. In fact, the court granted the requests for him to have a meeting with his counsel outside of the DSS, and I think that should happen today by 12, between 9 and 12 or thereabouts. So for those who are saying, well, this matter is in court as well, how about really presenting the case in court and ensure that the right things are done from his counsel's case? And I think the jury will be out there. Nigerians will see that you did your work well in the court. And of course, the judgment is left to the honorable justices, but at least you presented your own case. So for those who are saying, allow the court process be exhausted, what do you say to them?
What were these same people saying when Bello Turji is busy rampaging in the northeast and the northwest and is mollycoddled and met by different levels of traditional rulership and even the so-called constituted authority? Local government chairmen are sitting down. Nigeria has created a situation where there seems to be two parallel justice systems. How do you tell somebody to keep exercising patience with a judicial system that would appear to be obeyed only when it does as it is told by the executive? The optics does not make for this argument about the existence of a court process. What happened to the court processes in relation to real bandits, terrorists who have taken Nigerians hostage, killed them even in their worship centers? How do you have this conversation about having one subject itself to a justice system that is manifestly unjust and incapable of delivering justice, while telling the other one to ignore the fact that there are worse criminals, even in terms of crime, that are being ignored? It is the double standard that makes this argument difficult to stomach. There is a judicial system, quote and unquote, but that judicial system is completely blind to the crimes of one, and in the other one, you find a dissonance that suggests that, okay, so it's okay to treat this one like this, but it's fine to treat the other one in that manner. It is the uneven scale that makes this argument inequitable to even present in the first place. If everybody are treated the same, then we can have this discussion. But in a situation where it is clear, if it is so nauseatingly clear, it is difficult to even have a rational argument where one is saying that, oh, there is a justice system to which NMO AKIKANJU must be subjected, but that justice system, it is gagged, it is blindfolded, it is handcuffed in relation to others. That is not a position I'm able to argue. And in any case, who says we can't walk and chew gum at the same time? It is the inalienable right of those who are truly citizens to protest and show their discontent to their rulers. I don't believe that those who protested have done anything wrong. If anything, I think the Nigerian state is advertising serious double standard that is not sustainable.
What do you think this government is scared of? Do you think are the concerns or worries of this government? Because you've talked about this also working politically for it to be released. This would be a major political point for this government. So what are your thoughts about the government's fears?
Well, I think it is easy to elicit the truth when you look at the objective realities. October 20, 2020, Nigerians were protesting peacefully, waving flags, singing national anthem. They were murdered in cold blood. That is the response of the Nigerian state to those demanding to be treated as citizens. The entire protest was end SARS. SARS was the brutal and it remains the brutal arm of the Nigerian government in enforcing impunity in Nigeria. But the state did not address this concern. Instead, it murdered those who were demanding to be treated as citizens. Every time Yele Sowore and his cohorts come out to protest something or the other, you see the Nigerian police in full force, always ready to murder, to kill, to maim, every time Nigerians demand to be treated as citizens. But when you look at this way, the same Nigerian state treats bandits, quote and unquote, terrorists, Fulani militia, murdering Nigerians in the full glare of everyone, you see complicit silence by the state. So it's easy to say what the Nigerian state is scared of. The Nigerian state is scared of being subjected to the rule of law and being accountable to its victims. The only time you see the Nigerian army and police flex muscles is when people are demanding to be treated as citizens. Those who bear arms against the Nigerian state, who murder citizens in their beds, in their homes, on their farms, nothing ever happens to them. The Nigerian state is constantly talking about repentant terrorists. We have the most successful de-radicalization program in the entire wide world. We should be exporting it. But it is in Nigeria that those who presume to demand to be treated decently as human beings, governed and protected by law, are serially assaulted and murdered. Chinedu Agwu is there in prison in Owerri today. What was he saying? He criticized the governor. That is the country we have built. Those who need to be afraid of the Nigerian state are those demanding that you should treat them both as citizens and as human beings. But those who go around marauding and killing Nigerians, regardless of their ethnicity or religion, the Nigerian state has no problem with those ones. So the Nigerian state is afraid of having itself yoked to the rule of law and having the citizens, quote and unquote, treated as citizens and no longer as victims. That is what the Nigerian state is afraid of. Accountability in any way, shape, or form. It does not like it.
Speaking of Nigerians being killed, another part of this conversation is the number of Nigerians that have met their untimely death at the hands of what police in the Southeast will call criminal elements associated with IPOB. And at the heart of this is also the Simon Ekpa factor, and the Southeast is divided over this. How much of this would you attribute to the influence of the man that is at the heart of this agitation from yesterday, which would be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Do you believe that it is part of what he should answer to amid this trial?
Well, let me remind us of the Yoruba proverb. He says, you say to the cripple that, oh, your load is askew, and it reminds you that perhaps you should be looking at his feet instead of focusing on his head. Nnamdi Kanu is a reaction to genuine grievances. Ndi Igbo, since the end of the Civil War, has proven to be the testing ground for all the madness that afflicts Nigeria. What was once restricted strictly for the Igbos have now been democratized for everybody. The Nigerian citizen is essentially a Biafran. The question to ask is this: why is Nnamdi Kanu agitating, and why is he supported by the rank and file of Ndi Igbo? A lot of people are unhappy with his methodologies, yes, but there has been nobody who has been able to come out to credibly challenge the genuineness of the grievances that he's fighting for, or rather fighting against. Let us be clear. We can bellyache about his methods from now till kingdom come, and I have been very vocal in condemning his method, but nobody in their right mind can argue against the fact that Ndi Igbo, just like every other Nigerian who is not a member of the ruling class, has been seriously marginalized in Nigeria and is not even treated decently like a human being. So if we want to talk about the criminalities that has also affected that struggle, let me remind you that it is in this country that we started hearing how Asari Dokubo has been contracted by certain states to act and bear arms on behalf of the Nigerian state. He said as much inside the council chamber of the Nigerian state in Aso Rock at the beginning of Tinubu's regime when he was there vibrating. We don't even know and cannot say for sure whether this madness can be traced directly to Nnamdi Kanu and his cohorts. I am not his lawyer. I'll let his lawyer handle that. But the fact is this: there is no way to say with certainty that state-sponsored actors are not equally involved in the madness that has overtaken the Southeast. And if you are going to deal with that madness, you would have to go to the root. What is causing the grievances? What is at the root of the grievances? What is it that the Igbo man is complaining about? Why is it that this place has remained in turmoil? If it's just about Nnamdi Kanu, it will be over. You've had him locked up for like 3 years, and even before then, he was mostly on the run. So the point is, take away the grievances, and the agitations will dry up. As long as the edge lies persist, the fingernail will remain blood-stained. That is a reality. Nnamdi Kanu might not be to your taste, but you should ask yourself, and I'm saying this to everybody who might have reason to quarrel with him, as I have, why is his agitation resonating with his people? Because it is true. So if the Nigerian state is interested in dealing with the criminalities and everything, let it go first to the root of the problem, the inequitable treatment of Nigerians. It is just unfortunate that the Igbo man is the one we are speaking about, but there is nothing that hails him today that does not hail each and every Nigerian regardless of where they are. It is inequity that is at the root of everything.
His agitation does resonate with the people, and there were reports that the Southeast was also represented yesterday, but that's one side of the story. There were also protests against the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We saw some people from the Southeast carrying pictures of those who had been killed in the past few years. But let's talk about another critical part of it, Mr. Farotimi, which is the court order that the police cited repeatedly so yesterday during our sister political program. How do you view this court order against the backdrop of Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution, which guarantees Nigerians' right to protest? And what does this mean for the fate of protest in Nigeria?
Number one, this question should help you to see the lie that is called Nigeria. Constitution, that is suggestive of something that the people came together to give to themselves. A band of bandits wrote what you are calling the Constitution, and the section you are citing is as useless as the persons who crafted it. And I'll explain myself. In a democracy, there should never be a need for a police permit before you may have a protest. That the police was informed was so that they will provide security. That a court would presume to curtail the right of citizens to protest peacefully in a democracy is even suggestive of the fact that you are not in a democracy, you are only mimicking and pretending to be in a democracy. It is actually completely unheard of that in a democracy, citizens are required to obtain the permit of their paid employees before they may congregate peacefully. So when you talk about the police and the order it was waving around, I'm sorry, Obasanjo was the president of this country, so was Jonathan. And you don't have to listen to Dele Farotimi, you can listen to the professor of law, Oshibaju. Our judiciary is unfit for purpose. It does exactly as it is told by the executive, and it does not serve the cause of justice. So that they are brandishing something and waving it around, you cannot restrict. It can be, a order is only as useful as its lawfulness. You can say people should. You can arrest those who are violent in protesting. You can arrest those who break the law. But there should never be a situation where you are saying citizens cannot protest. So that the Nigerian police was busy waving the order, and I have been the victim of a court that tried me and sent that remanded me in prison custody on a non-existent law. So what kind of law court order is going to stop citizens who are not out for violence from peacefully showing their displeasure with the government? Why I don't join protests is because I know that they are merely protesting to the deaf. How do you tell the deaf you don't like what is being done to you? A person who is intent on not hearing you, why are you wasting your time shouting at him? It's a waste of time. The Nigerian state is deaf. It does not listen. So those who protest to the Nigerian state, when you talk about protest, it's suggestive of the person saying, no, I'm not happy with what you are doing. And he keeps saying, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with this. The expectation is that the person to whom you are protesting has the capacity to hear you, and having heard you, he will recalibrate and do the right thing. It has never happened that the Nigerian state recalibrated and did the right thing. NSAS, they changed the name to SWAT. Today is RRS. It is the character and nature that has not changed. The Nigerian state does not change anything for anybody. It is not interested in pleasing those who presume themselves to be citizens. It doesn't care.
Oh, Mr. Farotimi, quite a number of issues to unpack. I was just looking at one of your posts that you made a few days ago. You talked about a campaign of violence and displacement in northern and middle belt Nigeria, saying it constitutes a calculated, current and long-running genocide against Christian communities and other religious minorities without any reasonable doubt. This is a conversation that is burning. Perhaps in the coming days we'll get to unpack it. But if you were to just speak one line, because we're totally out of time, but that caught my attention. One line to that.
Let me be clear about this. I am not one of those waiting for America or some other country to come and save us. It is up to us to save ourselves. And I don't need Renault's repackaged American to tell me the truth of what I have been shouting in my country for over 6, 7, 8 years. There is a genocide going on in Nigeria. The Nigerian state is complicit in it, and the victims are largely Christians and other minorities in the northeast, in the northwest, and in the middle belt. I don't need the Americans to tell me that, and I don't need the Americans to establish the complicity of the APC and the Buhari junta. It was Baraje that told all of us in Nigeria, heard him say it in 2016 at the 70th birthday anniversary. The APC imported terrorists into Nigeria. Commodore Lawume was sat in your studio when he informed the whole of Nigerians that as far back as 2016, a list was compiled and given to President Buhari of sponsors of terrorism in his government. And he's also mentioned at that time that there were state governors who were sponsors of terrorism. All these people are still in Nigeria today. I don't need the Americans to tell me what I have seen, what I have heard, and what eyewitnesses have told me. The complicity of the Nigerian state has been established beyond reasonable doubt. And it should stop lying to itself and face the fact of what is before us.
Because this camera here is the best camera in Nigeria at the moment. Do you know the best part about this camera?
Doubt. And it should stop lying to itself and face the fact of what is before us.
Magistrate court. I maka ịhapụ onye ọkaikpe Nnamdi Kanu na nwanne ya nwoke bụ Emmanuel. Onye ọkaikpe Nnamdi Kanu bụ barrister Aloy Ejumakor na nwanne ya nwoke bụ Emmanuel. Na ịbịa na protest, peaceful protest. Nke this our president bụ onye isi ya. I ma far back in 2014 otu ha ji protest ya. Agbala ha nkịtị mana tata a na-anakwasị the
lórí orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá gbogbogbò. Ẹ̀yin ará mi ẹ súnmọ́ bí ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ pín. Ẹ bá wa dá sí Yorùbá TV 247 ẹ bá wa pín.